Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brothers and sisters, first of all, I would like to welcome you to today's event. As you know, the title of today's program is Importance of Seeking Knowledge in Islam. And this is a very important topic. Seeking the true knowledge of our deen is obligatory, as the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Talabul ilmi faridatun ala kulli Muslim." Seeking the knowledge is obligatory upon every single Muslim. This hadith is narrated in Sunan Ibn Majah, and Shaykh Albani rahimahullah said this is Sahih. Also, what makes the gaining of Islamic knowledge important for us is that it is one of the conditions of Shahada. To say La ilaha illallah, you have to have the knowledge of this kalma, you have to know its meaning. Without understanding and knowing its meaning properly, it's not going to benefit you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, فَعْلَمْ أَنَّهُ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ. So know La ilaha illallah. Say La ilaha illallah with knowledge. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam also said in the hadith in Sahih Muslim, on the authority of Uthman radiallahu anhu, that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, "Man mata wa huwa ya'lamu annahu la ilaha illallah dakhala al-jannah." Whoever dies knowing La ilaha illallah, he will go to paradise. So verbally conveying La ilaha illallah is not enough. Once Hassan Basri rahimahullah was asked, did not the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whoever says La ilaha illallah, he will go to paradise? He said, Hassan Basri rahimahullah replied, whoever says La ilaha illallah and fulfills the rights and conditions of this La ilaha illallah, he will go to paradise. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has also encouraged us in the Quran by saying, Qul Rabbi zidni ilma, and say, my Lord, increase me in my knowledge. So therefore, to acquire the knowledge of this deen is an important obligation on every Muslim. And to talk about this topic, we have our guest speaker here today, Sheikh Abu Yahya, who is from Leicester. He studied under one of the well-known Salafi scholars, Sheikh Muqbil bin Hadi Al-Wadi rahimahullah, who was well-known scholar in Yemen. He studied there, and also he studied some years in Saudi Arabia. And at present he is Imam at Masjid Taiba in Leicester. So without any further delay, I will pass the mic to him. Jazakumullahu khairan.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وآله وصحبه وسلم. As the brother mentioned, that inshallah the topic today we are going to talk about is the importance of seeking knowledge. The importance of seeking knowledge, and we mean by knowledge al-ilm al-shar'i, the religious knowledge. As we hear in many talks and in many speeches that people, when they talk about knowledge, they talk about knowledge in general, and this includes the Sharia knowledge, which is religious knowledge, and the worldly knowledge like studying medicine or anything like this. And in fact, we need to emphasize this issue before we talk about the virtue or the importance of seeking knowledge. We need to differentiate between the religious knowledge and the other type of knowledge, other type of science, like as I said, studying medicine. Studying medicine is very important, and it is fard kifaya that some or part of this ummah should learn medicine, otherwise we all become sinful. But it is not like seeking the religious knowledge. First of all, seeking the religious knowledge is most important, and it's more important than any other knowledge. And as I said, there are differences between the ilm al-shar'i, the religious knowledge, and the ilm al-dunyawi, the worldly knowledge. One of these differences, if you seek the religious knowledge with the intention of showing off, for example, you will be punished for this. You will be punished for this. There is no reward for it. As it's mentioned in Sahih Muslim, where the Prophet ﷺ was talking about the first 3 people enter Jahannam, iyadan billah. One of them, a person who studied and learned the Islamic knowledge and gave da'wah, and he became scholar and gave da'wah, but he was one of the first people enter Jahannam. Why is this? Because he did not study the religious knowledge for the sake of Allah. He did study it for the sake of showing off. So he wants to do riyah, to show off by his knowledge. Not like studying medicine, for example. If you study medicine to be called as a doctor, or to have a rank, a high position in the society, there is no harm. It's up to you. As this knowledge, the medicine knowledge, is to do with the dunya, with this world, not like the religious knowledge. So this is one of the first differences. And also, if you know the hadith where the Prophet ﷺ was helping the companions in some of the farms, so he was asked about a specific issue, he directed them to do some kind of planting some kind of palm tree. So at the end, his direction wasn't 100% correct. So he said, "Antum a'lam bi umur dunyakum." You know more about your worldly affairs. So the Prophet ﷺ said, "Antum a'lam bi umur dunyakum." You know more about your worldly affairs. This knowledge meant in this hadith is the knowledge of the dunya, the worldly knowledge, because there is no doubt the most knowledgeable person of the religious knowledge is Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. But in this hadith he said, you know more, which means this knowledge, the worldly knowledge, is not his issue, is not his target, is not his goal in the life. His goal is to become more knowledgeable in the religious knowledge, and to become da'iyah in the religious knowledge, not in the worldly knowledge. Why do I need to mention this? As I said, we see some people when they give speeches or talks, they concentrate and emphasize in seeking worldly knowledge, and they claim that all the verses and a hadith mention the Quran, Sunnah, or talking about the virtue of the knowledge or seeking knowledge is talking about both Islamic knowledge and the worldly knowledge. It's not like this. There is no doubt most of the hadith or the ayat or the verses or virtue of seeking knowledge is talking about the knowledge of the akhirah, the Islamic knowledge, and this is the knowledge of Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. Because as I said, the worldly knowledge, the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam said, you know more, which means he did not spend a lot of time in seeking the worldly knowledge, as he was alayhi salatu wasalam professional, if it's correct to say this, in the knowledge of al-akhirah. Ilm al-akhirah, or seeking the knowledge of akhirah, has two types. One is compulsory, fard ayn, compulsory upon every individual. And the second one is fard al-kifaya. It's not compulsory upon every individual, it's compulsory upon the nation, the ummah of Muhammad alayhi salam. We act as one person, the nation of Muhammad alayhi salam, whether you are from UK, from India, from Arab countries, from Asia, wherever. If you say La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, you join this body and you become part of it. Then it is not up to you to choose in some issues. There are specific issues that it is compulsory upon all of us. So we need to fulfill it together, or we become sinful. So fardul ayn, which is compulsory upon you, like for example to learn how to pray, as this is something you are going to do yourself. By the way, we have two types of actions. Actions by limbs, a'mal al-jawarih, and action by heart. Actions by heart, a'mal al-qulub. Actions by heart, like what? Who can give me example? Nawaya. Huh? Nawaya. And niyyah, the intention. What else? What do you do by your heart? How do you worship Allah by your heart?
Loving Allah.
Loving Allah, sincerity, al-ikhlas, truthfulness, submission. All these are actions by heart. These actions are all fardul ayn. There is no fardul kifaya in the actions by heart. So nobody can love Allah on your behalf. Nobody can be truthful towards Allah subhanahu on your behalf. Nobody can be sincere on your behalf. So it is compulsory upon every individual. It's fardul ayn. However, the actions by the limbs has two types. One is fardul ayn, as I said, which is compulsory upon you, like the salah. Anything that you have to do yourself, you have to learn it. Doing salah, it's compulsory. Doing zakah, it is compulsory to seek ilm zakah if you reach that point. If you are poor, you do not have something to give as a zakah, as a charity, compulsory charity, then it's not compulsory upon you to learn the details of zakah. But if you, for example, want to join business, that specific part of business you must learn about it Islamically before you join it, to avoid doing something haram. So this is fardul ayn. Fardul kifaya, that issues that can be done by any one of this ummah, and this will be enough, like Salatul Janazah, for example. Salatul Janazah, it's not compulsory upon the whole ummah to do Salatul Janazah. It's not compulsory upon the whole ummah to wash the body of the dead person, Taghsilul Mayyit. It's not compulsory upon the whole ummah to study medicine, Tib. Although we need people from us, male and female, professional in this field, but it's not compulsory upon everybody. Not like praying the salah. It is compulsory upon every individual to pray salah, then it is fardu al-ayn. This is as an introduction to know the importance of the seeking knowledge. But then, if we want to show you the importance of seeking knowledge, we need to show you its virtue, to show you the result of seeking knowledge. As you will know the importance of anything by knowing its result. Its result. As an example, studying medicine is very good, and people like to do this. Why is this? Because they know the result after that, or behind that. You will save the souls of many people, and you will have a good salary, and you'll have be called as a doctor, which everybody likes to be called like this, and you have a high rank in the society. All these issues encourage you to study medicine. So you like to become a doctor because of you would like to study medicine because of the result after studying medicine. So why do you need to study, to seek Islamic knowledge? Although nowadays, few people, not even nowadays actually, it's a long time now, few people who care about Islamic studies. And you find Muslims now spend a lot of money to teach their kids in a very good schools. But when it comes to Islamic studies, you find them weak. There are some, alhamdulillah, still okay, but I'm talking about many that don't care about Islamic studies, although it is more important. Even in the dunya, wallahi, like Shafi'i rahmatullah alayh. Shafi'i, he's one of the cleverest scholar. And not only this, how old is Shafi'i when he died, radiyallahu rahmatullah alayh? Does anyone know? He was about 54. And I heard Sheikh Muhammad al-Ethiopi rahmatullah alayh in Mecca was saying, if the Shafi'i lasts longer, like for example Abu Hanifa or Ahmed or Malik, he will be the best scholar amongst the four. As in fiqh, he was a miracle. In Lugha al-Arabiya, Arabic language, his language was was the best language in that time. The only lack he has in ilm al-hadith, and he was just concentrating on al-hadith when he died. So if he spent another 10 years in ilm al-hadith, he will be the best amongst these scholars. You know Shafi'i, what Shafi'i said? Shafi'i said, if you want the dunya, if you want to gain from the dunya, if you want to benefit from the dunya, seek Islamic knowledge. If you want the akhirah, the hereafter, seek Islamic knowledge. He means that when you seek Islamic knowledge for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you will be benefiting the dunya and the hereafter. Both. You will be benefit here and there. And something we touch, we experience by ourselves. We experience by ourselves. I don't want to give you many experience because I'm still young, but I'm talking about our scholars. Ya akhi, if you look at one issue, one small issue, all the scholars in every fields, when they become old, people leave them, especially before they die. Nobody cares about them, and that's why you find some professors or some very knowledgeable people in medicine or any other fields. When they die, people remember them and talk about them. Okay, he was clever, he was this, he was that, but nobody cares about him when he resigned, except ulama al-sharia, the religious scholars. When they become older, they have more scholars and more people looking after them until they die. Their students look after them more than their families until they put them in the grave to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then they cannot do anything. And not only this, they carry on making dua for them. I personally, for example, whenever I remember, I make dua for my Sheikh Muqbil rahmatullah alayh. I have nothing between me and him except the relationship of studying. And he has hundreds of students who are doing this for him and maybe more than this. So you benefit in the dunya and in the hereafter. If you do seek knowledge for the sake of Allah, it is one of the best deeds you can do, as we are going to mention. Number one, seeking knowledge is the road for the Jannah. It's a means to the Jannah. Abu Darda radiyallahu anhu was in Damascus. He was visited by one of his friends. So he came to him. He said, why did you come? He said, I came because I had, a specific hadith and I want to make sure, I want to hear it from you. He said, did you come for business? He said, no. He said, did you come for something else? He said, no, I just come for this reason. So he visited him from city or from country to another country just for the sake of double check a hadith with him. He said, okay, if you come for this purpose, then let me tell you this hadith. The Prophet ﷺ said, whoever chooses a path to seek knowledge, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will open a path for him to the Jannah. So if you travel, if you walk, if you go to anywhere for the purpose of seeking knowledge, and this is stop you to think about this point. Before you go to a study circle, before you travel to a conference, before you go to a talk, whatever, try to stop, think about your intention. Why do you go there? Are you going to meet someone? Are you going to buy something? Are you going to spend some time? Or are you going to learn? Try to make the intention is the last one. The main intention is to go there and learn. It's okay to meet some people there, it's okay to buy, but the main intention is to learn. Which means that if there is nothing but knowledge there, you're still going. So that's why you go. If you go for this intention, a path to the Jannah will be open for you to go to the Jannah, inshallah. As the Jannah has different paths and different doors. And not only this, Abu Darda carry on that the Prophet ﷺ said, the angels, when the angels see you coming to that reason or that purpose, they will put their wings down to show they're happy. To show they're happy, that they are happy to see you going. So they put their wings down for you. And not only this, everything will seek forgiveness for you. Everything will seek forgiveness for the scholar. Why? Because they are happy with what does he do. Even the fish in the sea. The fish in the sea, they seek forgiveness for the scholars. And the difference between the scholar and the worshipper, the abid, the one who makes ibadah without calling to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as the difference between the moon and the rest of the stars. There is no doubt the moon is much better than the rest of the stars. And the scholars are the real inheritors for the prophets. And the prophets did not leave dirham or dinar, money. They did not leave anything. They just left knowledge. And your part in the inheritance will be according to your knowledge. So the Abu Darda wanted to tell us and to tell that person coming to such a study circle, coming or traveling to seek knowledge, it's not a small thing. Or maybe some people feel it's something useless. Others, they feel it's okay, good, but does not need me to spend a lot of money for it, spend a lot of time. People have different mentalities, different goals in their life. But you as a person look for the Jannah, this issue is a great issue for you. When you walk or travel to seek knowledge, it is a door open for you to the Jannah. It's a door open for you to the Jannah, and this is a great news for everybody wants to seek knowledge. And also, when you seek knowledge, you are doing jihad. People like to do jihad. There is no doubt about this. People like to do jihad. Even if you are not brave enough, but you still like to be a mujahid. And when you are studying, learning, writing, memorizing, you are doing jihad, akhi. You are doing jihad. And not only this, it's better than the jihad when you fight in the war. Okay, you might say this is something strange. We will stay here for a few minutes to explain this point, as people do not understand it. People think, okay, we call people, okay, sit down in the masjid, seek knowledge and leave jihad. No, we're not talking about this. Jihad is important. We mean jihad by fighting, using weapons is important. But this is a jihad. This is a jihad. It's a real jihad. As if you are sitting now in a front line and fighting. How come? Okay. First of all, what's the proof that seeking knowledge is jihad? Or teaching people is jihad? It's mentioned in the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Ya ayyuhan nabi, jahid al-kuffara wal-munafiqina waghlud alayhim. O Muhammad, O Prophet of Allah, alayhi salatu wassalam, make jihad against the disbelievers. And it's clear, the jihad against disbelievers who fight us, we fight them back. And the hypocrites, the munafiqeen. If you look at the biography of the Prophet ﷺ, see how did he fight, how did he make jihad against the hypocrites? He did not kill one hypocrite in his time. His jihad against the hypocrites by teaching people, by refuting their shubha, their doubts, by standing against them and giving da'wah against their da'wah. That was the jihad of the hypocrites. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned two types of jihad. Jahid al-munafiqeen al-kuffar wal-munafiqeen waghlud alayhim. Both. Fighting in the front line is jihad, and refuting what the hypocrites say is a jihad as well. Now we have many types of hypocrites nowadays. They don't call them hypocrites. They have different names. But people who try to change Islam. People who try to bring in new bid'ah, innovations in Islam. People who try to misguide people from the right path. All these people need to be fought back. We need to stand up against them and refute what they say. Refuting them is jihad. When you are sitting in your house, 10 o'clock in the evening, for example, with a cup of tea, and you open a book and study how to refute a wrong belief, you are making jihad. Even if you are drinking tea, you are making jihad. Jihad is not only to go and use the weapon in the front line. Even the doctor in the front line is doing jihad as well. People who bring food, so jihad is different types. And this is one of the greatest jihad. And the difference, why we said this jihad, like Ibn al-Qayyim said, this jihad is more important than jihad with weapons, because of many things. Number one, jihad with using weapons, using weapons in jihad is easy. Is it easy or not? I'm asking you. Scared or sleeping? I just found out. Are you scared or sleeping to answer? Don't worry, answer, akhi. It's recording my saying before you saying. If there is any problem, we go together.
Nothing is easy.
Huh?
Nothing is easy.
It's not easy, but it's easier than seeking knowledge. It's a good answer, but it's not easy. Fighting in the front line is difficult, but it is easier than seeking knowledge. How come? I'll give you an example. Now in Libya, I'm from Libya anyway. Libyans, the nation in Libya, maybe 2/3 of Libyans become mujahid in 1 month or 2 months. They learned and they have the ability, they have the intention, and they went to the front lines. So we have an army of thousands in very short time. Wallahi, this is something I see myself. In very short time, in 1 or 2 months, we have thousands. And I don't exaggerate if I say million of fighters are ready. People there try to stop some people from going because they were young. 16, 15, 14, they want to go. They stop them. So it's not difficult to teach people how to fight in 1 month with the intention. Yes, they won't be professionals until they spend more time. But the beginning is easy, and they go and they fight. But tell me, how many years you need to have 5, 6 scholars, akhi? How many years you need? It's a lot of time to get 5, 6 scholars. And it's a lot of time to have them on the right path. It's a lot of time to help support them. So, akhi, it is completely different. One scholar is more important than million fighters. I'm not exaggerating. One scholar. As I said, number one, learning how to fight is easier than seeking knowledge. And easier in terms of how to do it, and in terms of the time as well. Shorter time you need to learn how to fight physically, not like seeking knowledge. Number two, how the fighters in the front lines need the scholars, and the scholars does not need them. Need them, but less than. How come? These fighters in the front lines, if they're not guided by the scholars, tomorrow they'll be fight each other. And it happened. When there is no knowledge with the mujahideen, they will lose the control and they will go astray and start fight each other. So it's like a guidance. These scholars amongst the mujahideen is guidance for them. So who's more important now? The scholar who guides the fighters, or the fighters who know how to use the weapon? Everybody can use the weapon and everybody can fight. But not everybody can learn. Not everybody can understand. Not everybody can spend years and years seeking knowledge to sit down and teach people. Not everybody is willing to spend part of his life to keep or to memorize the Quran and the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, so tomorrow can guide the people. It is difficult. And that's why if you have children, especially boys, make sure you guide them. Even girls, akhi. Girls can be better than hundreds of boys. But what I'm saying, boys has more chance now to become a scholar than girl. So what you need to direct him, especially if you find him loving to study Islamic studies, akhi, it's a blessing from Allah. Do not lose it. Do not miss it. It's not easy, wallah. It's not easy that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you find your child seeking knowledge or like to seek knowledge. This is a blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you miss it, you miss a great blessing. Now, for example, who knows the father of Ibn Taymiyyah? Nobody knows him. It's because of his son, Ahmed ibn Abd Salam ibn Taymiyyah. Everybody knows now Ahmed ibn Taymiyyah, his father, for example, Abd Salam. Who knows the father of Ahmed bin Hanbal if his Ahmed bin Hanbal is not famous? So, when your son is scholar, you will be known. You will be rewarded. You will be guided. So, this is very important issue. And seeking knowledge and giving da'wah, akhi, is a part of jihad. It's the best jihad, but not everybody understands this. And the Prophet ﷺ, in hadith narrated by Abu Hurairah, said it clearly: whoever goes to my masjid, his masjid, Nabawi. It does not mean that only specific that masjid. No, any masjid. If he goes to learn or to teach, then he is in the stage of the mujahid for sabilillah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he is doing jihad. He is doing jihad. And by experience, we've seen ourselves that to have to seek knowledge and to become student of knowledge or to become a scholar, it's so difficult. As the life is not up to you, you do not choose it. It's guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it easy, to open the doors for you. Even through your way of seeking knowledge, you have many obstacles on the way. And you might pass the first one and might not be able to pass the second one if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not open it for you or does not remove it from your way. So there are a lot of obstacles, there are difficulties of hardship. If you carry on and Allah help you, support you, guide you, you are lucky. And you are in the best stage of this ummah. And this ummah will need you. This ummah will need you. You will be like a star. You will be like a star. And do not think now, seeking knowledge or become scholars now, you have to become like Ahmed bin Hanbal. No. There are different ways of da'wah. Different ways of da'wah. And you can become a great caller to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala while you have a little bit of knowledge, but a lot of efforts. You have the guidance. You know the aqidah, you know what you need from the fiqh, but you have, mashallah, a lot of efforts. I give you one example of this. Dr. Abdurrahman ibn Smayt. Abdurrahman ibn Smayt, he was giving da'wah in Africa. He spent about 28 years in da'wah there. Do you know where is he from? He's from Kuwait, one of the richest country in the world. He was a rich person, living a nice, smooth life, with wife, everything is fine. He left everything and نحسبه كذلك went there to give da'wah for the sake of Allah. He went to Africa. Africa is Africa. It's not Kuwait. You know this. You know Africa. If you haven't been there, I can't tell you what's Africa. It's so difficult. The life is so difficult there. And he didn't spend few months. He spent 28 years. He became African until they kick him out. He does not want to leave, but America spoke to Kuwait directly. This man should leave Africa, should go back to Kuwait. He shouldn't stay. Why is this? Because this man, he's a doctor. He's not a very big scholar, normal person. But you know what he did? He did not call hundreds of Islam or even thousands. He changed the percentage of the Islam there, akhi. Percentage of Islam went up. Millions accepted Islam because of this man. So I don't know the percentage, but say it was 10%, it became 20%. So he make da'wah, akhi, and he called people to Islam and increased the percentage of Islam there, built 4 universities. He made 1 channel there of TV channel, Islamic TV channel. Many tens of secondary schools, masajid everywhere. Akhi, if you look at his da'wah, you won't believe this man is just a doctor. You will think that this man is like Ibn Taymiyyah or one of these scholars. Allah guided him. He, mashallah, was clever. People was fighting, killing, problems there, da'wah problems. He was very quiet. He went to Africa. Nobody that was there. Nobody will give him headache there. So he spent years, nobody knows about him, until he set up mashallah, very strong da'wah there. Allah supported him to do, mashallah, a lot, until he was kicked out by the government. Say, you have to leave. We cannot accept you here because it's a big problem with America. Now he was interviewed in Kuwait. He said, what's your hope? He said, my hope to go back, stay with the orphans again, because he was looking for orphans there. Allah reward him for his attention anyway. He's over 60s and he's difficult for him to carry on. But alhamdulillah, he did a lot. He did more than many of student knowledge. So why I'm saying this? Because you might say, okay, Sheikh is not talking about me. No, I'm talking about you. If you have taxi driver, I'm talking about you. If you are a coach driver, I'm talking about you. If you are a worker, I'm talking about you. If you work in a warehouse, I'm talking about you. You are meant by this speech. It's not only for those who are sitting in the masjid and seeking knowledge. No, you are meant by this. If you are a taxi driver, you can buy the leaflet. You can call people to Islam, and maybe weekly you can get someone embrace Islam. It's just the way how to make da'wah. You need to spend some time seeking knowledge. If you can make it daily, they'll be fine. At least weekly, you spend 1 hour learning about Islam. So at least when you talk, you know what you're talking about. And now internet is easy. Sit behind your computer and give da'wah. And if you're a taxi driver, easy to make a leaflet, nice leaflet, or get a nice leaflet, give it to non-Muslims and talk to them about Islam. Talk to them. We go to the shops, we talk about with the non-Muslims, laughing, smiling. We never mention about Islam. It's not fair, akhi. You are upon the right path. Give them some time. It's not that big issue to spend some time talking about Islam. And you become a caller. And do not forget, when you make a hasana, it will grab another hasana for you. 3rd hasana, 4th hasana. When you make a sayyah, the same. It will grab another sayyah for you. You involve yourself in sayyat or hasanat. So if you call one person Islam and he embraces Islam, believe me, tomorrow the 2nd person will come, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 5th, and mashallah, you become a caller. And also if you seek knowledge and you call to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you will be secure. You will be as a security system for this ummah. Why? Because when we have scholars between or amongst us, we are guided. We are guided, as we need to follow them. We need to ask them, and when we do this, we are guided. But if we live without scholars, without studying knowledge, we will be in trouble. As people should appoint someone to ask him. And if there is no knowledgeable person, an ignorant person will take this place. And it's mentioned in Sahih al-Bukhari, narrated by Amr ibn al-As. The Prophet ﷺ said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not remove the knowledge from the people, will not take it from the people, no. But He will remove the knowledge by removing the scholars, by taking the souls of the scholars. i.e. when a scholar dies, part of the knowledge is dead with him, is already finished. So it's like this, until all the scholars disappear. When all the scholars disappear, people will appoint ignorant person as a scholar, and he will be asked, And an ignorant person will be happy to give fatwa without knowledge, so he'll misguide himself and misguide other people. So having a scholars, having a student knowledge between us, amongst us, is a guidance. And when you need them, when there is a trouble, when there is a fitna, when there is a division, you need them. Maybe your daily life, you don't recognize that you need them, because there are not a lot of questions in your life. But when there is a problem, a great problem, you will run. Where are they? Where are they? I need some fatwa. You need some fatwa now. You didn't prepare a person for fatwa. Now nobody give you fatwa except ignorant person. And this job is job for the whole ummah, for the whole community. For example, this masjid Tawheed, it is your duty. It's a duty upon every individual here to help each other to make a student knowledge. Do not say these are young. These are young today. Time is running very quickly. 5-6 years, he becomes a student knowledge. If you know how to direct him, if you strive, if you make jihad to make him a student knowledge, he will become, and he will taste the fruits after 5-6 years. People, the teenager of 14 years old, 6 years he'll become 20. If you concentrate on if you give him time, concentrate on his life and help him to memorize Quran, help him to seek knowledge of hadith, you can send him abroad to study. You send him somewhere else to study, he will become a scholar, or at least he become a student of knowledge. He comes back to you, he can lead you, akhi. He can lead you to the Jannah. These issues, as I said, is not a responsibility of the imam. It's not a responsibility of the manager of this place. No, it's a responsibility of everybody here. You have to help, he has to help, everybody must help to have scholars. If you can seek knowledge by yourself, this is the best way to save the ummah, as you will be a guider, inshallah. Also, and I think we are running out of time, inshallah, we need to tell you about a hadith, as some of you maybe knew it, but it is a very good hadith, and to encourage you, whenever you have a talk, whenever there is a speech, you come and sit, even if it's boring and you don't like it, and maybe you don't like the face of the person who gives talk, but it's still rewardable for you. The Prophet ﷺ said, there are angels sent by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know, there are many angels in this world. Angels everywhere. Angels writing down what we do. Angels protecting us as a protection, surround us, protecting us until the qadr of Allah, the decree of Allah comes, then they move and leave the qadr of Allah comes. Angels of different duties. There are specific angels, their duty just looking for the study circles. They're running from street to street to find out if there is any study circles. I think they spend a lot of time in England to find one. In some countries easy, just any masjid you find one, but in UK it's difficult. And they're looking for real study circles, akhi, not the bid'ah, innovations. Some study circles or people sit down, Allah, 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 Allah. What's Allah, Allah, Allah? What do you want? Allah, Allah. Okay, what do you want? You keep saying Allah, Allah. If it's astaghfirullah, you keep saying Abu Yahya, Abu Yahya. Okay, what do you want? Say something. Allah, 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 Allah. And if this way is a way, or is a guide, a way of guidance, the Prophet ﷺ should have done it at least once, and the companions as well. And it's never done by the Prophet ﷺ nor the companions, this way of study circles, gathering and mentioning the name of Allah without asking anything. This is not from the Sunnah. But they're looking for the study circles where the real knowledge, the Quran and the Sunnah, is taught. When one of them find, say, call the rest, say, listen, there is one here, come, there is one here. So he will call the rest of the angels, and I hope, inshallah, if we are sincere, they are here with us as well. So he called them, they come, they sit down. You know what they do? They put their wings above each other until it reaches the heavens, to show their happiness, and they're happy just as if they are covering us, you know. Nobody will touch us, nobody will come. So when they finish, the study is finished, they go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah will ask him, and Allah knows what's happening, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to show something. There is wisdom behind it. So Allah asked them, what did you find? He said, we found some or part of your people sitting and remembering you, glorifying you, making takbir, making tasbih. He say, Allah, did they see me? He say, no, they didn't see you. He say, if they see me, what will happen? They say, well, they will do it more and more. They will increase their ibadah than will see you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He say, okay, what are they about? What do they ask? They say, they ask for Jannah, paradise. You know, we are sitting now. Why we are sitting, akhi? We are not sitting to spend half an hour. No, we want to meet in the Jannah, as Allah promised us. When we sit like this, to remember Him subhanahu wa ta'ala, we will have this inshallah in the Jannah. We will have it as a road to the Jannah bi'idhnillah. So he said, the angels will say, they sit down in the masjid and ask you to go to the Jannah, or to allow them to enter Jannah. Allah said, did they see the Jannah, paradise? They said, no. He said, if they see it, what will happen? They say, will increase their ibadah more, increase their seeking knowledge, increase their tasbih. He said, what they are seeking refuge from? They say, increase seeking refuge from the hellfire, Jahannam, iyadan billah. They don't want to go to Jahannam. He say, did they see Jahannam? They say, no. Say, if they see Jahannam, what will happen? Of course, they will ask you more, or seek refuge more with you from Jahannam, and they'll do their best to keep away from Jahannam. Say, okay, after this interview, what will happen? Allah said, you are my angels, you are my witness that I've forgiven all of them. I've forgiven all of them. There is no sins with these people. These people who sit in that specific way, I've forgiven them their sins. One of the angels say, oh Allah, there is so and so. He did not come to seek knowledge. He came for another purpose. He came for another purpose. Business, car, maybe waiting for a sister, get married, any reason. There are a lot of reasons. Allah, what Allah says, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, these people, whoever joined them, will not struggle. I forgive him as well. He will be forgiven because of joining these people. So instead of relaxing outside, sitting in the cold weather, come and sit down in the study circle. You do not like the sheikh, come and sit down. You don't want to hear his voice, come and sit down. You will be benefited. And some of study circles, in one of these study circles, you could be written in the Jannah, from the people of Jannah, and all the sins will be forgiven, and you will be happy forever because of one study circles. Finally, we have about 3 minutes left. I always like to do 45 minutes. Because like Az-Zuhri rahmatullah alayhi said, when you make the dars longer than normal, shaitan will come and sit. So instead of the angels, we have shaitan, and you leave here, say, Abu Yahya akhi, make us fed up from seeking knowledge. So 3 minutes left. In these 3 minutes, I want you to know 2 important issues. Number 1, when you seek knowledge, make sure the intention is for the sake of Allah. You seek the knowledge for the sake of Allah. Even if you want to study, and there will be a certificate or degree after the studying Islamic studies, there is no harm. You can have a certificate, you can have a degree, you can be PhD holder in Islamic studies, but the main intention to benefit yourself, to benefit the ummah, and this is something comes with, you call it taba'. It comes with the studying, that's fine, but it's not the main purpose is to get the certificate or degree, even if you're still ignorant. No, the main purpose is to become a knowledgeable person, benefit yourself, benefit the ummah, and whatever comes there later, no, that's fine. If you have a PhD or you can master whatever, that will be fine, as long as the main intention is to benefit yourself and to benefit the ummah. This is we call ikhlas, as this is very important issue. If you miss this ikhlas, these hours or these years or these times you spend in studying will be punishment instead of reward. Number 2, make sure you study the knowledge of Quran and Sunnah, as these are the guidance. Seeking knowledge on misguidance or misguiding knowledge, it will not benefit you. You will be wasting your time and you will be punished. And this you can be found everywhere. Knowledge that misguide people is everywhere. Knowledge of bid'ah, knowledge of that useless knowledge, you can find it everywhere. But to find the knowledge of Quran and Sunnah is not easy. You need to search. You need to. Akhi, if I ask you what's the cheapest supermarket, you will tell me that one is very good. Buy juice from there, and when you buy clothes, buy from there. Okay, what's the best mechanic? Go to that brother, is very good. The best cars. You are professional in everything except in knowledge and deen. This is wrong. give some time for the deen to find out who is the good student of knowledge, who's the good scholar, what's the best books to study, what's the best way to follow his studying knowledge. You need to give it time. It needs time, like any other knowledge. Don't sit down and say, okay, I didn't find. No. If you don't find a job, you will strive to find a job. So do at least the same to seek knowledge. So you need to spend a lot of time to find the good knowledge, the guidance, the knowledge of guidance. And whenever you have a confusion, you don't understand. Sometimes you have two fatwa. One fatwa saying this, other fatwa saying this. Sometimes in a place you are confused. Is this man good? He's bad? The best solution for this issue is the companions. Whenever you have fatwa, it's done by the companions, follow it. It's more closer to Allah than the fatwa. There is no companion, act upon it. So the companions, following the understanding of the companions, is the closer, making you closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because the Quran and Sunnah are not a person or walking and can talk to you. You need to understand them. The Quran and the Sunnah, you need to understand them. And understanding them have different ways. Everybody claims he's from the Quran and Sunnah. Even people of innovation, people of misguidance, they claim that they are upon the Quran and Sunnah. But how do we know? Do we know we are upon the right path or not? We need to compare our understanding with the understanding of the companions, as they were closer to Allah than us. They were closer to the Prophet of Allah ﷺ than us. They were upon the right path, and the Prophet and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in His Quran and the Messenger ﷺ in His Sunnah told us these people are upon the guidance. So if we believe these people are upon the guidance, we need to check their biographies, check their says, their athar, what they say, and we follow them. They will guide us to the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, especially in understanding the Quran. When you look at the verse in the Quran, you have, now as I said to you, say Allah, Allah. Some people gather and say Allah, 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 Allah. If you ask them, what's the proof for this? You say, Allah said in the Quran, Udhkurullah. Remember Allah. It's mentioned in many verses. I am remembering Allah. I'm saying Allah, Allah. We say no. Allah said in the Quran, وَمَا آتَاكُمُ الرَّسُولُ فَخُذُوهُ وَمَا نَهَاكُمْ عَنْهُ وَانْفَانْتَهُ. Whatever you are given by the Prophet ﷺ, they follow. And another verse said, follow the path of the companions. وَيَتَّبِعْ غَيْرَ سَبِيلِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. Follow if somebody follows, it's long verse, the path, not the path of the believers, I mean at the time of Prophet ﷺ, which are their companions, he will be misguided. So these verses show you that when you want to understand what's meant by Udhkurullah, you need to check what the companions said, what the companions did according to this verse. Do we have at least one narration by the Prophet ﷺ or by the companions saying that Udhkurullah means say Allah, Allah? Or did they do it? When there is nothing like this, keep away. How they did do it? They gathered to study. They gathered to recite Quran, to teach each other Quran, to give study circles. This is the way how they used to do remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we do it in the same way if we want to be guided, if we want to be at least on the safe side. Finally, I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide us to become sincere in seeking knowledge, and to guide us to learn the Quran and Sunnah and act upon them. Wallahu subhanahu wa ta'ala a'lam, wa jazakumullahu khayra.
Jazakumullahu khairan. We thank Sheikh for delivering this important lecture on the topic of importance of seeking knowledge. I hope everyone took a full benefit from this. And inshallah, after the next month, Sheikh will be doing a regular monthly circles in this masjid, and he will go through the book 40 Hadith by Imam Nawawi rahimahullah. So please keep in touch with the masjid. If you still haven't given your emails yet, if you can leave your email so we can update you with these activities. Jazakumullah khairan. Get time for questions?
Okay, 5 minutes.
We'll take a couple of questions before we conclude this program, inshallah. So if you got any question related to this topic, you can ask.
In the beginning, you differentiate between the two types of knowledge, which is the dunya knowledge and the deen knowledge. What about people who has the dunya, who does the dunya knowledge, like medicine knowledge or any, but for the sake of Allah, because they want, like, as we see most likely now, there is a lot of people in comparison of how much education the West or the non-believers got, how much education Muslim has. So these people who are actually educating themselves and their children, dunya knowledge, but in order to actually embrace the Islam for other people,
improve the Muslims' life,
the Muslim society and reputation around the world.
Okay, we said at the beginning, do not forget, learning medicine, learning any kind of science or knowledge that this ummah needs is fardul kifaya. It's must. It is a must upon the ummah to have doctors, to have engineers, to have pilots, to have different, in every field that it's needed for this ummah. It's a must. It's a compulsory upon us to have these people. So when you study medicine, for example, with the intention of benefiting the ummah, benefiting your society and benefiting yourself, you will be rewarded for this. No doubt about this. You will be rewarded, and your reward is great. It will be according to your intention. But what we said at the beginning, we said we cannot compare between seeking knowledge, Islamic knowledge, and seeking, for example, knowledge of worldly knowledge, like say medicine. Seeking Islamic knowledge is more important and more rewardable, as it's ibadah, it's a worship itself. Not like seeking medicine. But we are not saying seeking medicine is useless. No way. It is more important in many occasions, in many situations, and the reward will be great for it. It will be a great reward. So it's a good question. Why? If you are a taxi driver, you can make your driving rewardable. How can you make it? It will be rewardable when you drive the taxi with the intention, number one, of looking after yourself, looking after your family, looking at your children, which is compulsory, and you try to mix some da'wah in your job by distributing leaflets. So whenever you go, wherever you go, you give da'wah. So your job will be more beneficial sometimes from some study circles. So you can control it, but the intention will control the reward. If you do this with the intention of benefiting yourself and fulfilling the obligatory upon you, because it's obligatory upon you to look after your children. So if you do the job to satisfy Allah, you will be rewarded. But if you do it as a habit, you never think about the intention. It's a habit. I have to work. People work, I have to work. No, there's no reward for this. The reward will be when you think about the job. Mu'adh ibn Jabal radiallahu anhu said, "Inni la ahtasibu nawmati kama ahtasibu qawmati." I wait for the reward when I sleep, I expect the reward for when I sleep, for my sleeping, like what I'm expecting the reward for my qiyamul layl. Did you understand this? When you wake up for qiyamul layl, you're expecting reward, don't you? Okay. Mu'adh radiallahu anhu, he's expecting reward when he sleeps, like what he is expecting when he wake up. Why? Because when he sleeps with the intention of improving his body, looking after his body, which is compulsory. It's compulsory upon you to look after your body. You can't drink poison, for example. It's haram. You kill yourself, you go Jahannam. You can't cut your hand, you go Jahannam if you do this. Your body, you borrow this from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah gave you this, you need to look after it. It's not up to you to do whatever you want to do in your body. You can't harm yourself. So when you look after yourself, when you look after your body by sleeping, for example, because you need to sleep, you will be rewarded for this. When you sleep with the intention to have a rest, so you can wake up again and pray, you will be rewarded for your sleeping. So everything, when you eat, when you say Bismillah, Allah will reward you. When you eat with the intention of looking after your body, Allah will reward you. So everything you do will be rewardable according to your intention. But this is even the habits. You will be rewarded for them if your intention is good. But if you do ibadah, it's different. Ibadah, you must have intention, otherwise you will be punished for this. Okay, how do you save yourself from riyah? Best thing, best safety from the riyah is to seek knowledge and to listen to some tapes about riyah and to learn about the riyah. Riyah, showing off, is when a person does the ibadah not for the sake of Allah, but just to show people that he is a worshipper, for example, people will praise him. If this is the intention, then the reward will be nullified and you will be punished for this. But do not go extreme in riyah, because shaitan will try to make you do the ibadah with the intention of riyah. If he cannot do this, he will try to make you to the other side by going extreme until you become muwaswis in riyah. Oh, I've done this for riyah. No, do not stop the ibadah because of the people, and do not do the ibadah for the sake of the people. You have to understand this. Do not worship Allah or act upon worship for the sake of the people, and do not stop the ibadah for the sake of the people. Now, you want to stand up to pray 2 rak'ah. Do not pray the 2 rak'ah for the people who are looking at you, and do not stop them because shaitan tells you you are showing off. Don't do it. No. Go ahead and control your intention. Your intention is in your hand. Do not tell me I can't control yourself. If you say I can't control yourself, then you know you are mad. You're not a normal person. You can control yourself. My intention now, I came here to give talk. Why do I need to give talk? I want to give talk for the sake of Allah. It's easy. It's difficult to keep. Sometimes shaitan comes in between. Okay, people like my talk. Okay, now I do something, increase it. Oh, I might lose some of the reward when I go this way. But the intention at the beginning is easy to control. I want to do this for the sake of Allah. I want to benefit myself. I want to benefit my brothers. Easy. I want to pray 2 rak'ah for the sake of Allah. Let people look at me, talk, it's not my business. I will just concentrate on my salah. If you do it once, twice, 3 times, shaitan will leave you. He will despair of giving you headache in this, and he will try from another way. So this is the best way, and as I said to you, try to seek knowledge or listen to tapes of about riyah. This inshallah will encourage you to be more sincere. Where abroad can a student go to become a good scholar? There are different places where to go, and the question is not where to go. The question where you find it easy where to go. It's difficult now. For example, Saudi is good, but it's so difficult to go there. And Egypt, there are scholars in Egypt, and there are some places in Egypt that are very good. There are different places. It depends on what you want to seek knowledge. It depends on what's your plan. It depends on your level of Arabic language. It depends on your age. There are different parameters that you need to consider before you go. But while you are here, do not wait. Do not wait. You can become a good da'iyah while you are here. And if you find another place, go. That's good. As I said to you, Saudi is good. Egypt is good. Actually, to be honest with you, even Dubai, which is it's a nice city now, but there are scholars in Dubai, student lodge in Dubai, in Emirates in general, and in Qatar. So it depends, as I said to you, there are different. I cannot give you a general answer for this, but if you contact me individually, tell me about your situation, I can guide you. But as I said to you, I know a brother of mine, he's my friend. Maybe some of you know him. Is a brother Abu Imran. He is a Russian brother. He came to UK. Know nothing about Islam. Know nothing about Islam. It's just basic, not basic, even the basic issues of Islam, he's not aware of them. MashaAllah, now he speaks, MashaAllah, fluent Arabic. Better than many Arabic people, Arabic native speakers. And he gives da'wah in English perfectly. And he is calling to Allah in Arabic and English. And he studied by himself. He sought help from some student knowledge, but he was doing his best to learn Arabic. Now I speak to him in Arabic language. His pronunciation is mashallah something nice. It's because of his face you can tell he's Russian. Otherwise, mashallah, you say this man is Syrian or something like this. Mashallah, speaks good Arabic. He learn, mashallah, memorize Quran. He's not finished, but mashallah, he's doing his best to finish and study Sunnah. You talk to him, he's better than many Arabic student knowledge. So you need to spend some time, and you need to write a map for yourself, or draw a map for yourself in seeking knowledge. Wallahi, you can do it even here. Although, yeah, of course, if you go abroad in Arabic country, it will be more. But even while you are here, do it. Don't wait. And inshallah, there are students of knowledge everywhere who can guide you how to seek knowledge. And if you ask Allah sincerely, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not let you down. I didn't understand. What's this? Laziness?
Yeah, laziness.
Okay, how can you overcome laziness of seeking knowledge? This is a problem with everybody. It's difficult to have a cure, a general cure for this, but the best solution is dua. Best solution is supplication. Dua, if you wake up, now it's winter, so you can sleep enough, and then you wake up 10-15 minutes before Fajr. Make wudu, raise your hands. You pray to rak'ah, raise your hands. Oh Allah, help me to seek knowledge. It's easy. I don't think it's difficult now. In summer it was difficult, but now it's easy. So try to make dua. One of these du'as, you do it sincerely, Allah accept this dua, you will be happy forever, as Allah will support you. It's like this. It's like you keep knocking the door. Keep knocking. Don't wait. Don't stop. Knock the door. Knock the door until they open for you. So knock the door. Allah will open the door for you one day. There is a wisdom behind delaying the response to the dua. There are wisdoms. Some of the wisdoms we know, some of them we don't know. Sometimes we are delaying the response of the dua by eating haram or by doing something wrong that delay the response of the dua. Sometimes everything is fine, but there is wisdom behind it. At least Allah wants to test your iman. I'm making dua, Allah did not accept, Allah did not respond. No, don't say this. Keep making dua, keep supplicating to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but the clever person who knows what to say in the dua. This is the most important. Some people, his great hope is to have a Mercedes. Oh Allah, bless me with Mercedes, black color, full option. This is this is the best hope he has in the life. Unfortunately, this is waste. Actually, you can have this without spending hours making dua. Go on, get some money and buy it, that's it. If you are clever, you know what to say in the dua. Okay, if this person say, oh Allah, guide me to become a scholar, it is a great dua. And in the Quran, وَجْعَلْنَا لِلْمُتَّقِينَ إِمَامًا. You know what Allah mentioned this verse in the description of Ibadur Rahman, the slaves of Rahman. One of the descriptions, they say, وَجْعَلْنَا لِلْمُتَّقِينَ إِمَامًا. Make us leaders for the pious people. So it's one of the great ranks or position to be a leader for the pious people. You know what to say? You know, one of the issues we mentioned in the Hajj, people go to Hajj in the Tawaf, they mention different kind of dua, which is okay. Oh Allah, help me to pass the exam. Oh Allah, help my sister to get a husband. Oh Allah, do this. Which is okay. But if you are clever, concentrate in the dua of the Prophet ﷺ. رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. This will cover everything you need in the life. You're looking for a hasana in the dunya, which includes every good thing in the dunya. Hasana in the hereafter includes everything good in the hereafter, and keep you away, save you from the hellfire. So you know what to say. We're talking about, because in the dua sometimes people go extreme. One of the companions heard his son making dua, saying, oh Allah, bless me with the white palace on the right side of the Jannah. He said, my son, if you enter the Jannah, it doesn't matter, you get the white palace or you get gray, it doesn't matter the color of the palace, you are in the Jannah. But as I heard the Prophet ﷺ saying, there will be people amongst my ummah make i'tida, they go extreme in the dua, and this is from it. Don't go extreme. Oh, I need specific. If you want guidance, oh Allah, guide me. That's it. Don't go extreme, guide me upon this to become like this, and this is just wasting time. The same, when you want to become a scholar, say, oh Allah, guide me upon the right path. Oh Allah, help me to be one of the leaders of the pious people, as it's mentioned in the Quran. Choose the ad'iyah, the supplications mentioned in the Quran and Sunnah. These will be the best ad'iyah, as they are in the safe side. Your own dua, you do it, but you might go wrong in the dua. Some people get upset, make dua against other people. One old woman was breaking her fast, eating date. People say, listen, it's good time to make dua. May Allah destroy my neighbor. And they're breaking fast. This is crazy, akhi. This time is to seek Allah's forgiveness, and she remember she had a problem with one of her neighbor, she makes dua against her. this is wrong. And as I said to you, try to stick to the dua of the Quran, the Sunnah, and this will be safety for you. Wallah subhanahu wa ta'ala, subhanaka Allahumma bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Jazakum Allah khairan.